Hey everyone, I'm Keldon from Outfit, and today I'm going to be talking about what I think we might see this year at Blizzcon. This video is solely based on what I find to be, what we'll likely see. This isn't, a leak video, or I don't even think there are leaks yet. Blizzcon is still a while away. But, I just have some ideas. I figured I'd get them out there, and I'll come back later in a few months, and I'll see if they've changed. So, it should be interesting. Since we're mostly an Overwatch channel, I'm going to start with that. A lot of what I think could or might happen with Overwatch kind of depends on what we see at Gamescom. If Gamescom, which is another convention a few months away, if they go the same route as what we saw at PAX East, as in 2, maybe 3, but probably 2 heroes and maybe a map, then Blizzard might go all out at BlizzCon. They might have like 4 to 6 heroes, and 2 maps maybe, or a map with a new game type or something. I'm not really sure. They could just keep with this formula. It does seem to be working for them, I think at least. But another thing I think we will see is some sort of date, whether it be day, month, season, for either an open beta or release, which I'm really excited for. I can't wait. But yeah, Blizzard's a little iffy on dates sometimes, because if they mess up, then they want to make sure they can get whatever they messed up or whatever someone messed up fixed before the game goes out to the general public, which I can understand, but it does mean more time with people not playing the game, which, makes me sad. Alright, so the next game I'm going to talk about is WoW or World of Warcraft. Now, ever since there was this leak a while ago about the Dark Below expansion, and even before that, there's been this idea going around in the WoW community about like a South Seas Azhar expansion, and personally, I kind of think this is where Blizzard plans to take WoW. It makes a lot of sense lore-wise. Like, we're off on Draenor, we're fighting the bad guys, whatever. We stop the invasion, we come back, and they're like, oh hey, while you were gone, Azhar invaded, and now everything's under attack, which would be really cool. So, really quickly, for those who don't know, Queen Azhara was once the Queen of the High Elves, and she messed around with the Burning Legion and Sargeras, wanted to marry him, and basically it didn't go very well, and it led to the destruction of the Well of Eternity, which made the Maelstrom and exploded the world, kind of. So basically she got turned into a Naga for what she did, and now she's just super powerful Naga. She's taken over the sea. You probably saw her in Cataclysm. She took down Neptulon, and you tried to free him in the dungeon, but I guess it doesn't really work out. The expansion itself actually would probably take place both underwater, well, maybe underwater. I know a lot of people didn't really like the underwater zones that Blizzard came out with. And along like islands, we'd probably go see Koltaros, Jane of Proudmoore's father's island, and we'd probably see some more Tolbarad and a few other things. And another reason I'm really kind of thinking this might be the case is because in 6.2 they've announced the naval yard for your garrison, which is kind of weird. You're getting all this experience taking over a boat and, maybe even a fleet, I don't know, and you're attacking with it. And so these skills could come help you in the new expansion if this is where they go with it. Alright, now I'm going to talk about Hearthstone. Now, I'm not really sure what Blizzard has in mind for Hearthstone. It's kind of hard to predict because they can really do whatever they want. But I'm pretty sure they're going to do another big card pack expansion, kind of like GVG. There's more cards than there are just in an adventure. And I am kind of thinking they're going to add a new class. It's been over a year. Blizzard has said they don't want to do a new class because they don't want to worry about the balancing of a new class. But I could totally see them doing it. And if they don't do Death Knight, they could do Monk, or even a new class if they really wanted to. If they don't do a big card pack expansion and they do another adventure, I think AQ would probably be what they do. Anchor, it's the last raid, if I remember right, that they haven't done for Hearthstone that was in Vanilla WoW, so that's probably where they'd go with it. So now I'm going to talk a bit about Diablo 3. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm really thinking, hey, it's time for a new Diablo expansion. Maybe not right now, but at least to be released. Diablo is really fun. It can be a little grindy, but it's kind of nice to have that both relaxing mode where you just get on, kill demons, and also that hardcore mode where you're pushing greater rift levels and even afraid your character is going to be dead forever. So as for this new expansion I was talking about, the end of Reaper's Souls really left off on a big cliffhanger, and without spoiling it too much for those who still haven't played it, they really set up Diablo 4, like, completely set up Diablo 4. And not being a huge lore guy, not really sure where they would go with a new expansion, but the way I was kind of thinking of it, they don't raise the level cap, they just kind of add a new class, some new maps, a new profession, new transmogin sets and legendaries, of course, and maybe in 2 classes, I don't know, but maybe not increasing the level cap so you can keep the seasons going how they are, and also not upsetting numbers or balancing by not increasing the level cap. So just to explain in a little bit more detail, as for a new class or 2, I was thinking probably Druid. The Druid in Diablo 2 is really unique and doesn't share too many like similarities with all the classes we've seen now. And also probably Amazon, just because I think we could use like a new class using a bow. They all go to Demon Hunters, and like that's kind of greedy. As for a new profession, I was kind of thinking something with alchemy. Like we have these potions now, these legendary potions. But I feel like they could play a bit more with that, which would be pretty interesting to see. They could also do something like engineering. I'm not quite sure how that would work or fit in, but it could work. I'll probably make a video going a bit more in detail about these ideas I have specifically for Diablo. That'll probably come out in a week or 2, so stay tuned for that. So Heroes of the Storm is a pretty interesting one, and I feel like that because they've kind of gotten all these like big main characters, at least from WoW, out of the way, like Jaina and Thrall, and so I think they might be getting into the more interesting characters now. I know Sylvanas just came out and Kael'thas is on the way. I'm hoping to see like maybe some Diablo 2 characters or something at BlizzCon. Were I to guess, I would say there's probably going to be a playable map, 1 to 2 not playable but announced maps or like shown off maps, and then probably like 3 playable heroes and 1 to 2 more non-playable heroes. And of those 3 playable heroes, I really hope one of them is Gelwin Mechatork from World of Warcraft, because he's the king of gnomes. He deserves to be in Heroes of the Storm. Blizzard's last game, as far as I'm aware, that they'll talk about is Starcraft II. Now, Legacy of the Void was announced at last BlizzCon, so I'm not really sure exactly what they'll show at this BlizzCon. I'm sure it will be playable in some form, because it was last year, and the beta's already started, so I'm not... The best I could guess is that they announce a release date, but they might even release it this year depending on how the beta is going. Whatever they do, I am pretty excited because I really like Protoss. I'm pretty awful at them, but it should be fun. Also, Archon mode is coming out in the new expansion, so I can get carried even harder, hopefully. Not really sure, but I'd like to think I will, so that'll be cool to see. The final thing I'm just going to take a shot in the dark at is the possibility of them remaking games. So a Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, or maybe just 3, I'm not really sure, remake could come out this year. They just remake the game as it was, but with, like, in the Heroes of the Storm engine, so it looks a bit nicer. They could also do the Lost Vikings. They came out as a Heroes character, so I wouldn't be too surprised if that's who they did. They could also do their older games like Rock and Roll Racing. I'm not sure, but it'd be cool to see, so I'll leave that there just in case, you know, because it's possible. So yeah, that's kind of my general thoughts on what we'll see this year at BlizzCon. Be sure to comment and talk about maybe what you think we might see, because I think there's a lot more we could see, but I'm not really sure what exactly. Like I said, I'll be having a Diablo video coming up on what I think the expansions could be. I also did an Overwatch video earlier in the week talking about future game types and mostly maps, and we have another one coming out soon. You'll find links to all that for when it comes out or from last week's video right here on screen. Other than that, be sure to share and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.